Windhelm is the epitome for the Nordic culture of Skyrim. In this city of men where Ysgramor took hold of his conquests and laid to rest the elves. Where men proudly declared themselves the owners of Tamriel. Where men, now in the present time of Skyrim, take charge of what is happening to their country to stop this foreign invasion. We unite under the Bear and under Ulfric's Stormcloak. But could it have been better? Could it have been more impressive? Well, like everything in Skyrim, it can be improved. So tag along for this epic video where we transform this beloved city into the true home of the Nords. So, what makes the home of the Nords just that? Is it the downpour of snow and the cold that gets underneath your bones? Is it the icy water that cools the breeze and fills you with cold air? Is it the fort of stone that is laid with bricks meant to hold strong against anything? What about the bridge that allows you to enter this magnificent city? I would say that it's all these things. And while Bethesda did an amazing job on the city in the first place, doesn't mean we can't improve upon this. So why don't we start with something simple. Introducing Capital Windhelm Expansion. This mod is an incredible expansion to the city of Windhelm. Not only does it expand the exterior of the city, making the stone haven look even more magnificent than it already does, but it also expands and adds to multiple sections of the interior. Introducing multiple missing areas that Bethesda originally cut from the game. These areas go from the pit, a small area where you can fight against other NPCs in the fashion of the arena from Oblivion. The pit is probably the coolest spot out of all these new areas. You can partake in multiple fights and advance in the stages of the pit. I'll give you guys a short pit overview now.
I just miss seeing the world.
As you can see, the pit is a very well fleshed out new spot in the game to handle all your Nord needs. But why not grab a drink at the new meadery? The new meadery has much to offer, like having a cozy, warm environment filled with kegs of mead. The two brothers that own this place often sit by the counter waiting for someone to come and talk. But why not enjoy your time with Talos in the Temple of Talos? This temple is dedicated to the very god the Thalmor scum seek to destroy. So while you're off plotting against these Thalmor, take your time to relax and pray to Talos the Almighty. And if you do want to plot against some Thalmor, why not engage in the quest and the old Talos temple? This is where you get a quest to find the Thalmor informant hiding in the Grey Quarter. Speaking of the Grey Quarter, it's been expanded too. The high-reaching buildings with multiple levels and wooden planks going across the roofs make it look way better. Windhelm has been decorated with statues of Talos and Ysgramor. There have been so many new areas added onto Windhelm to make it look so much more realistic. The multiple new areas reflect something about the city, and that's why I love this mod. The next mod is City Entrances Overhaul Windhelm. This mod adds a certain atmosphere, with the crucified skeletons outside, the massive gate, and the huge structures on the bridge. This is what I thought Windhelm's entrance should look like, being able to see the damage of war from the outside, an invite to those who are on their side, but a horrific deterrent of those who oppose them. When looking around, you are stunned by the beauty of this area and how magnificent these buildings are. But then, you are also introduced to the war being waged. The skeletons in cages and hanging bodies everywhere. It would be truly terrifying if you were to be an Imperial soldier. The long walkway into the city and the daunting banners hanging around. The bear did well to represent the Nords like this. This adds another layer to the city, making it feel more chaotic. It also introduces the player to the hardiness of Windhelm and to the strength and resilience of the Nords. When walking down the bridge now, instead of it feeling like a cakewalk into any old city, it feels like I'm doing something grand. It feels like an innocence is being stripped from my character. When I see the daunting entrance, it almost feels like I'm walking into a very dangerous territory. And while if I was an Imperial dog, that would be true, but luckily for me, the Nord is strong within. Next, we have Snowy AF Windhelm, which, as you guessed, makes Windhelm snowy AF. This mod adds way more immersion to your game, since Windhelm is supposed to be the epitome of the Nords. It's supposed to be snowy, windy, rainy, dark, and all those common Nordic tropes. It makes you feel more at home in Skyrim, since the outside of Windhelm is lathered in thick fluffy snow. So why wouldn't the city itself be? Trust me, I've been walking in the middle of Stockholm on a snowy day, and sometimes it's hard to walk around, and those are the kind of conditions that we would need within this stone fortress that we call Windhelm. Now we have Marvelous Windhelm Gate. This mod is really simple. It remakes the main gate into Windhelm with a pretty awesome look. It just looks more hefty and suits the theme of Windhelm a lot more. When you look upon the gate now, you have a sense of realization that you are now entering the stone fortress that Ysgramor and his companions built to gaze upon Ysgramor's lost son. You are, after all, entering the oldest human city in all of Tamriel. Last but not least is Palaces and Castles Enhanced. What this mod does is remakes every palace and castle in the game, but we're here for the Palace of Kings. The throne room that was built by Ysgramor himself, that the Bear of Markarth now owns, where the King of Windhelm commands the last bastion of humanity. This mod turns this often empty and overlooked part of a game into something awesome and atmospheric. It overhauls the banquet room with the large tables and statues to bring joy to those who feast and drink their mead. It expertly decorates almost every single room. It brings a certain life to the palace and really immerses you into the game itself. When you see the new rooms, the thing that comes to your mind is hardiness, which is how I would describe the essence of the Nords in general. You get a sense of pride when walking through the halls, like all their accomplishments are on display, even if they're not. It gives a very fresh feel to the Palace of the Kings. It brings brand new life to rooms like the guards' quarters. You see guards feasting on food and drinking their mead, getting ready for their very next fight. You have a new alchemist's room, where the lady cooks up potions for the aid of the soldiers to help them along their treacherous journeys. You can also see the level of effort put into Ulfric's bedroom. The bed is elevated and has an immaculate noble feel. The room is decorated with paintings and sculptures that I think are appropriate for Ulfric's taste. The room itself feels like a proper room. Other than that, we have multiple rooms of NPCs that live around the castle, as well as other important figures. The effort put in is clearly shown in the furniture and the decorations of the room, basically achieving the same purpose as Ulfric's room, making the whole space feel more alive. We also have another room for the court wizard. This room is now filled with an arcane table, multiple different potions and ingredients, as well as decorations like deer skulls to add to the atmosphere. The wizard himself is also often wandering around the room doing his own thing. That's it for today's video, guys. I hope you thoroughly enjoyed this video. We have multiple new projects that will be released soon. Make sure to drop a comment and a like so I can see if you guys would like to make this thing a series where I transform other major cities in Skyrim into like something fucking sick like I did today. We're so close to reaching 4,000 subs, guys, so if you could please drop a sub for the channel, that would be highly appreciated. Thank you all for watching. I will see you all soon. Bye.